Hey, it's Melissa with Sincerely Creative Mom. We're going to make a beautiful fall wreath with some supplies I picked up from Hobby Lobby, our patent pending pancake wreath frame, some 10-inch mesh. Of course, we needed some ties to hold everything together, and I also found this beautiful ribbon from Hobby Lobby that we're going to talk about why I'm using this specific one. So jump on in, let's get started. I am going to first make one of our little bundles with you first. So I'm going to start with the back of the bundle, which is going to be these leaves. It's going to be a nice pretty bed for everything to lay on. And then of course I went with the wild and crazy, all the things. Let's trim that a little bit because we don't need it, too long. Let's just trim it a little bit. Perfect. And then we're going to add in, so we're going to take 1, 2. So although this is great, it does a lot of talking for us. It has the pumpkin, the leaves, the raffia, some berry looking things. It does a lot of talking. We're just going to add a little bit so it has a little bit of depth and color. So the leaves are going to go all the way in the back. And then I did want to add in a little bit of glitter into this design. So let's go ahead and pull that pumpkin up real gentle. Pull it up real gentle, just enough to get our glitter and glam going in there. Pulling it in just so that there's, it's not overlapping and over our sight line. And then of course I'm going to bring in our berries, mostly because it had all the different colors and depths. I liked the dark and the lighter and the little bit of reds. And we're just going to slide that right into the top. So we made our own little bundle here. We just took what they had and kind of zhuzhed it up a little bit. And then I'm going to move things around so we have some of those berries coming up to the front and that raffia a little bit, giving me a little leaves in there, making sure I can see all the things. There we go. And then I'm going to take my zip ties and zip tie them together. And I did do 5 other bundles just like this. So I made them ahead of time so that this video would go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to put our zip ties around here, nice and tight. I have super weak hands, so I'm going to use my handy dandy little tool here to tighten and cut our zip ties off. And then just because this is a little bit longer, I'm going to go ahead and cut that extra off and make it so there's kind of about the same. So we have, again, I made one of these with you, but I do have 5 of them behind the scenes all ready for us. So let's get rid of all this mess. I'm going to set our zip tie aside. Everything goes on the floor and then I sweep up later. Okay, so we have 6 of those bundles. Now I'm going to start with doing 6 twist ties, and that's going to be our main piece to hold everything in. Now, this is the patent pending pancake wreath frame. I am co-designer, inventor, I don't know what you want to say, for the frame. I'm super excited. Love that it goes with our pancake wreath design. However, this frame can be for so many other things. If you haven't seen our extra large kind of nutcracker designed, inspired wreath, definitely check that out. The replays are all there. It's super simple steps. But this one is even more simple. So I'm just going to take our the ties. Every spot where a pipe cleaner would go for a pancake wreath, there's a notch in a hole. Notch in a hole, notch in a hole. There's 12 of those combinations. We're going to use just the inside 6 for this design. So I'm going to go right in, inside 6, nice and tight, twist, twist. And I'm using these specifically because they're a little thicker than the pipe cleaner. Not that I want to see the pine, but they're a little thicker than the pipe cleaner. And so it's going to be a little more sturdy to hold on to everything. So this is where our bundles are going to go. And then we are going to add in, while we're in this phase, we are going to add in some extra pipe cleaners, just regular old pipe cleaners, just to help keep our bundles in place over time so that there isn't one point of contact to hold everything together. So I made this design last year. And as time goes on, you learn and you develop new ways and better ways to do things. And so I am going to add in that extra pipe cleaner. And we're going to do that right here, except this time, instead of using the notch in the hole, I'm just going to use the hole in the inside of the ring because our stems are going to kind of line this way. And I don't want to bring those stems on the outside. I want to keep them all on the inside. So I'm just going to leave that there. Again, it's just to hold on to the stems of our pieces and keep them in place. Okay, so I'm just adding in, and then because it's just to hold on to the stems, it's not really the main point of contact. I am just using the pipe cleaners just because, you know, this is just to keep everything really in line. So I don't need to use, not that they are expensive, but I don't need to use the thicker ones, thicker ties. And then in the end, we'll just kind of cut those off and make them disappear so that you don't see them. And yes, I put them on now instead of after the mesh. It's going to be a little trick, but we're going to be able to do it just fine. Okay, so if you didn't find the actual ties, you could buy the garland. I buy several of these just because they're really good to have, and when I run out of this, I can always use this. Also at Hobby Lobby. Okay, I did cut our mesh 20 inches long. I did do that ahead of time. I used a rotary cutter and our self-healing mat here so that I got a nice firm cut. When you're applying pressure on the mesh, you tend to not have pieces that like don't get cut, and therefore you're not, you know, going back and forth. So it'll help with the fraying. It is a woven material, so when you do cut it, it will fray. Just keep that in mind. My best advice is make sure you're cutting with a good rotary cutter. Make sure you cut once, and once you put it in, don't play with it. Okay, just put it in, don't play with it. All right, so I'm going to go right down on top here. Let's see, I'm going to put those away, out of the way. I'm going to go right down on top, crisscross, twist once. I'm going to overlap this over here, overlap this over there, and we'll figure out a way to get that through in a minute. Okay, we're going to keep going. I just know that last year when I made this, the pieces, the bundles kind of shifted a little bit over time, and so I knew we needed an extra layer of point of contact in there. So not exactly sure how we're going to do that. You know, it might have been easier for us to do it after the fact, actually. Okay, so hold on. Let's wait till the end to see which way. Might be easier to do it after. That's the thing about crafting. Once you try things, then you have more resolutions. But then sometimes, unless you actually do it first, you don't know how it goes. Okay, again, 20 inches here. I'm just ruffling right up the center. This mesh is very easy to follow because it has that beautiful copper foil going right through the center, which looks like it's helpful. And we do want our wreath to be, you know, full. We want it to be a good size. We want it to be a good size statement on our door. So we don't want it necessarily to be, you know, we're not trying to make a small wreath. And in the end, this is going to be really beautiful with all those textures and colors. And then, of course, we use the mesh that had the foil in it to kind of bring out the color and glitter in those little bundles. So, really cute. Last one going in. All the way up. So right now we're sitting around, let's see, around 20 inches long. And I am going to take the end of our wire cutter here and kind of push that down and maybe like make it a little bit more compact. So those tinsel ties, twist ties, pine ties, whatever you want to call them, they are a little thicker. And so as you add things in, they are going to kind of build up. And I want to keep that still real compact, mostly so that our beautiful bundles don't get wiggly. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to kind of curve this because obviously we have a curve here and I don't want them sticking out this way. I'm going to kind of curve it and we're going to go right down on the top. Now I want this to twist right above that zip tie so that it kind of helps it from sliding down. That's number one. So we're going to put it right in there. Beautiful. Get my chunky little fingers up underneath there. Nice and tight. Just going to twist it and kind of put it down. Now let's see how this little guy, how we can get this in. Yeah, okay, so what we're going to do is, I'm going to take that out of there, so hopefully yours isn't complete. I'm going to go right in the center. And just attach it to the, just secure it that way. Attach it to the frame, and let me show you how I'm doing that. So I just went around the whole entire thing, and then we'll stuff this extra underneath. So that is definitely going to be easier than what my first thought was, of course. You know, let's just go ahead and take those out, because the more of those that get in, the harder it'll be to get them out. So let's go in there. Sorry about that. I was thinking we would all have it all ready and it would be prepared for us. And although I tend to do things the hard way, we're not going to do that in this video. Okay, sorry about that. Let's get those out. Okay. So I do have that in there, and it is real good. Okay. We'll just use that, keep going around. So I have another one. We're gonna twist it, bend it, curve it, whatever you want to call it. Go right down on the top here. Now look how beautiful. Nice and just flushes right up with it, and we'll fluff them out, make sure it gets all, you know, in place. But when you look at it, it doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like you put little bundles in. It looks like you had, look at that, beautiful, 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 beautiful. And then of course we are going to take our extra and put it right down in. This is the only part that could get tricky when you add in your pipe cleaner and go around the, through the mesh. That part is the part that can get sometimes tricky because the mesh, of course, has all those fibers in it, and the pipe cleaner will catch on it. But then we're going to go through and tighten those up at the end. Okay, let's worry about getting these in and making our bow. Beautiful. I added in that glitter piece, that glitter pick, kind of last minute there, and I don't know if I was nervous, not nervous about it, but I almost didn't. And I'm so glad I did. I just wanted a little bit of sparkle, which of course led me to the mesh that has the glitter in it, or foil, whichever you want to call it. And you see how this is definitely covered up, so I'm not worried about it being there. Taking our pipe cleaner again, making sure it is secured. I love this. I did do this last year with a Christmas design, so that is available also on replay. It's beautiful. Oops, let's not move that. It's beautiful. Very similar, made our own bundles, kind of jazzed things up a little bit, and turned out really, really pretty. So if you're interested, and if you love this one, if you're interested in seeing the Christmas version, it is available. This is so pretty, and it looks like, you know, you did so much work when you really didn't. I mean, I want you to take credit for it, but you really didn't do too much. So pretty and so easy. And most of these materials, I'm sorry, well, the whole bundle other than the glitter piece was all from Hobby Lobby. Secure that in nice and tight. That's also securing that mesh so that the mesh isn't moving, which is nice. We don't want that to be flopping all over. We want that to stay in place. And nice and tight. Make sure that gets in there nice and tight. And then the last one will kind of be a little tight, but I'm going to work it in there. We're going to be just fine. And then of course, once I'm kind of looking over the top, we'll put all those pieces in place. I know it kind of looks, we just crushed over our pumpkin here and can't really see it. We'll make sure we get that in. Some of that going one way, some of that going the other way. Last piece going in, this is going to be the hardest piece to put in because we're going to go right up underneath here. I do want to make sure I lift up those pieces and get this in where it needs to be so that nothing is or feels, appears out of place. And you know what, if those end up being like a pain and we're like, that wasn't maybe a really good idea, we can always cut them out, shorten them. Shorten them would probably be my best or my first option. Oops, where did the other piece go? There. Now, I did spend time ahead of time prepping those bundles. However, it did go pretty quick. It did not take very long. And this is absolutely amazing. Now, one thing you could have done, we went on the inside 6 spots for ties. You could have gone on the outside and made it just a tiny bit bigger. I do love that this is all really compact and lots going on and very full. And then we're just going to move things around, do exactly as I said. Move those pumpkins into place. And make sure all of our pieces are all the way around. Leave some of those in, that's fine. Love, love, love. I'm really just working on the outside to kind of fluff that before I move in, kind of pay more attention to the inside. This is so beautiful. Let me zoom you out here and bring this in. It is so pretty. Move this one in a little bit. As long as they are in there and you can see them, it's really, let me just put it up to you. It's so pretty. So pretty. Now I did go with a ribbon that did not have any, well, I don't know, maybe I'll do this one. Yeah, let's do that one. This one could have been, well, let's do a little bit of both. Let's do a little bit of both, why not? Let's create a 2-layer, well, we can even do 3-layer bow, and we won't make it too big. Let's see, we'll just make it, well, I don't know, we just kind of fluff it in there and make it kind of hang off the bottom, really. I think we're going to do that. I love those bows that they appear like they're floppy. They probably don't have wire in them, so they really are floppy, but I obviously like the wire. So let's just go ahead and make feels too big. I don't know, we might get it in there and decide that's a no. So I'm going to add this. Add this in, one loop, and then one loop with the copper trim. We'll just do one loop and one loop. Well, maybe we'll do 2 loops here. I'll do 2 loops here with 1 tail. Pinch, twist, and loop. Pinch, and then I'm going to cut that baby right off. And then I do have another ribbon that's a little thin, and it has like a shimmer to it. It does have a little bit of a green in it, but that's fine, I think. We'll do right on the top. And we'll do 2. Let's just see how this works out. So pinch, twist, and loop. This is a sheer, and it's very similar on both sides. So you almost don't have to twist, but of course I always do. Okay, then I will lift that off. Move that away. Lift it off and keep it nice and thin. I'm sorry, nice and slim, nice and small. Nice and tight. Where my little tool go? If you do get this tool, you want to make sure that the teeth of the tool line up with the rigid side of the zip tie. It needs something to grip onto. Okay, and then we're going to go like this, bring that down here. It's going to go like this, it's going to go like this. Kind of work it so that that tail kind of goes down and the loopy loop goes up. And then let's put this on an angle. That's it. Good. Give this a little dovetail. This one too. And that one's good. Okay. And then we'll use another pipe cleaner to attach. Alright, let's see. Let me just put it up to me so I can see if we have a wonky spot. We really don't have a wonky spot, except maybe right here. Alright, let's see if we can get up right underneath there. Again, not that it needs it, really, truly. This is going to be the hardest part of the whole thing, getting that pipe cleaner through. All that wire, all that mesh, all those things. Get it right up underneath there. I think we did it. I think this is good. Now one thing, especially if you're selling these, make sure you put a hook or a ring on there so folks know which way that bow goes. You know, sometimes they forget when they purchase it, or you forget when you get it. And so it's just easier to put a hook there so that everyone knows where it's supposed to go. And we'll cut that a little bit further. So cute, so pretty. Not even cute, this is so pretty. I love it, absolutely, positively. So pretty. I hope you enjoyed. We are going to add a tie right up here, and adding in just a pipe cleaner will be just fine. I'm just going to take it around, slide it up underneath there. Let's see here. So I forgot to do this part. Get that out of the way. Okay, so this is going to be my hook. I'm going to take it and twist, and then I just like to be extra secure and then twist it around each other. And then because they're pokey, I like that to go underneath. Okay, so that the pokey part is underneath, and bring it straight out, twist, and now you have a little hanger. Perfect. Okay, so it'll tell you exactly where it's got to go, which is just like that. It is so cute. I am Melissa from Sincerely Creative Mom. Learnfrommelissa.com is where you can find so many things for us. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I see all your renditions. Is that the right word? I'm not sure. I hope I see all your remakes, I guess. And then I can't wait to see you again soon for more tutorials. Decorating, again, learnfrommelissa.com is where you can find so many things, free resources, all their classes we have available, our social medias, and all the things. I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.